Now, it's no secret that the Ravens lost to the Bills in heartbreaking fashion in the playoffs last year. And it's also no secret that a certain tight end might have dropped a very crucial 2-point conversion in that game that could have sent it into overtime. But does that make him a bad player? This is the curious case of Mark Andrews. Now let's get this out of the way first and foremost. Should the Ravens trade Mark Andrews? No. Should the Ravens cut Mark Andrews? No. Did he have a very bad game in the playoffs versus the Bills? Absolutely. But should that diminish everything that he's done on the team to this point? I think not. Let me tell y'all a little something about Marcus Andrews. Okay? Let's talk about him. First of all, he leads the team in touchdowns of all time. Of all Ravens of all time. You look at who has the most touchdowns ever, and it's Mark Andrews. On top of him being a football player, he's also a type 1 diabetic. So all the things that he has to deal with as a football player, think about everything that he has to go through with diabetes as well. Oh, that's not enough for you? Well, let's talk about the time that the man had a season-ending injury, and he just casually happened to find a hyperbaric oxygen chamber in his girlfriend's dad's basement. Yeah. Let's sink that one in there. Man's was literally in the basement, like. Then he came back and played versus the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. I mean, what more do you want from the guy? Beginning of the season. Look, I'm talking like a woman now. Y'all got me fired up. Right at the beginning of this season, he got in a car accident. And no one's talking about it. Not a single soul on planet Earth is talking about how this guy got in a car accident literally a week before the season started. And then they want to talk about, oh, he didn't have the production in the beginning. Likely was playing better, which might have been true, but we'll get into that later. Now let's go back in time a little bit further to when Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator. I know it's a scary thing to talk about, but let's face the facts here. The man was Lamar's safety blanket during that entire time. You think about who his number one receiver was the entirety of the Greg Roman offense, and it's Mark Andrews. And Greg Roman sucked. Now, on top of all of this, call me a meat rider, but we also share a birthday. So, I mean, that's pretty dope. But enough from me. Let's hear what some of the people have to say about Marcus Andrews. When you think of Mark Andrews, what couple words come to mind?
Well, for one, let me stop you right out the gate, because it's not Mark Andrews anymore.
Oh.
Since the beginning of last season, it's been Mark Blandrews.
Whoa! Whoa!
I'm sorry to be the one to say it. I draft this guy really early on. Solid pick. One of the best tight ends in the league. And they play likely over this guy.
Yeah,
they play likely over Blandrews.
Okay.
For the first few weeks.
Okay. All right.
And I'm starting to get a little pissed off. You know, I'm like, I should have drafted Dallas Goedert or somebody else. I really just made a big mistake. Championship game. I'm the underdog. It's close.
We're talking real close.
Mark Blandrews wets the bed.
That's why you don't like him?
Well, that, and a few weeks later, he wet the bed again in front of a larger audience.
Oh, okay, buddy. I think you're done there.
He's not good. He's not good.
I think we're ending this call.
Go. He needs to get out of there. I don't think the Ravens need him anymore. I really don't. Likely's the new star. Mark Blandrews is awful, and he needs to retire.
Now, Josh brings up a good point, and I promised you I would get back to this. Isaiah Likely is a very talented tight end. Okay? And should he have more reps than Mark Andrews? Now, I'm going to shock you here. Yes, he should. But does that mean that we should get rid of Mark Andrews entirely? Yeah. Now, the same argument I made about Mark Andrews and Greg Roman's offense is what I'm making for Isaiah Likely and the Monken offense. Monken. Really like that name. Todd Monken. Yeah, I really like that guy Isaiah Likely on Monken's offense. But yes, Isaiah Likely is a dog, but does that mean that we should completely abolish Mark Andrews? No. I got another interview for y'all, and this one's from the biggest Mark Andrews lover that I've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with my mom. Mom, what is it that you like so much about Mark Andrews?
I like Mark Andrews because when Lamar Jackson throws the ball, he gets it done. He's always the one that can catch it and usually.
He gets it done. So what would you say to the fans that want him traded?
He should be traded because when Lamar was out, Mark Andrews is the one who kept the game together.
So you would say that he is Lamar Jackson's safety net?
I definitely would, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, folks. Mark Andrews is here to stay. And now time for a new segment I like to call Random Raven of the Week. Now, continuing the trend of talking about Ravens tight ends, Todd Heap. Now, as you can see, Todd Heap was holding it down during some of the Ravens' dog days, okay? This man was a force to be reckoned with. He also ran over his 3-year-old daughter in his driveway. And that concludes this week's episode of Random Raven of the Week. Now, I'm going to end this video just like I started it. Should the Ravens trade Mark Andrews? No. Should the Ravens cut Mark Andrews? No. But should Isaiah Likely be tight end 1? I think yes. Now, we're paying Mark Andrews a lot to still be here. So is he going to contribute? Yes. Do I have faith that he will contribute? Absolutely. So we're just going to have to see it play out, guys. We're just going to have to see it play out. Because Mark Andrews, he ain't going nowhere.